When I was 9 years old, I decided to grow my hair. It wasn't a big decision, all things considered, but it was my decision. My parents went along with it, no problems. The only real question that ever happened about it was actually from someone I didn't even know very well. A little girl in the lunch line next to me one day turned to me and just said, "When are you going to cut your hair?" I don't even remember my answer. I'd like to think I said something witty like, "When it's long enough," but I don't really know if I did. And so, my hair grew for the next 4 years. It wasn't that eventful. A lot more important things happened in my life. Until one day, I was standing at the edge of a football stadium with my mother. It wasn't a game or anything, we were just standing there. And a man came up behind us. He was pushing something on a dolly, I guess, and he said, "Would you ladies please step back so I can get through?" And we did. But there was that word, ladies. That was probably the day I decided to cut my hair. I'd been called a girl before, usually by bullies at school who were trying to get my goat, and more often than not it worked. But there was a different amount of intent there. They were trying to get me angry. They knew I was a guy, and so calling me a girl, that was their goal. But this guy, he didn't know. He just thought I was a woman. And so, the thought occurred to me, if I had a beard, this wouldn't be a problem. Nobody told me this in those exact words, but it came to my mind. I had pictures of biker gangs and rock stars like ZZ Top. And I knew nobody questioned their gender. They knew who they were. The key was facial hair. My father has had a mustache his entire life, barring the 3 weeks when he played a woman in a local community theater production of a show called An Evening of Culture. The show was okay. The director offered to pay for my therapy when she cast my father as a woman. It was a joke, but it was funny. The first time I saw my father without his mustache, I was almost sick to my stomach. That wasn't him. That wasn't my father. He was that mustache. I've probably shaved less than a dozen times in my life since being able to grow facial hair. Occasionally a boss would mention my long sideburns, and so I'd shave up, just to keep him happy. Once in college, my girlfriend wanted to see what I would look like without it. And so, I shaved. She asked me to grow it back almost immediately. Occasionally, I'd be cast in a show that would ask me to have no facial hair. And if pushed, I would do it. But usually not without a little bit of canoodling on my part, trying to convince him that it'd be okay for this character to have long hair and facial hair. More often than not, I got away with it. Worst case scenario, I'd pull out my 16-year-old driver's license and show them that picture from back before I had a beard. If nothing else, it was good for a laugh. But more often than not, it convinced them. This is called makeup. I didn't even know there was a product called makeup. I thought that was the broad category that covered all this stuff. But no, I was wrong. This little 1 ounce bottle cost $15, and I'm told that's cheap. You do the math, at $15 an ounce, that's over $2 grand a gallon. I'm glad cars don't run on this stuff. This is a 40. I don't really know what that means. I didn't know how to pick the color. This one's called nude. I just held it up to my hand against the whole rack of them at the store and picked the one that looked like it fit. I don't know how women are expected to actually find out what color matches their skin. Other than trial and error, I guess, and that seems like a really, really expensive way to do it. Every error costing you an extra $15 or more. And that's $15 or $2,000 a gallon that I'll never have to spend in my life. It's money I don't have to spend because I'm not a woman. I didn't even know that's what it cost. I was in the dark. All this just to cover up those little imperfections that somebody decided were wrong. Somebody said, you shouldn't look that way, you should look this way. And so, pay those $15 an ounce or more, one little bottle at a time, to make the difference, to cover up those things. Those things somebody else told us were wrong. And then we have everything else. All the things that are supposed to show what's right, what somebody else decided is right. Eyeliner. Dangerous. Eyeshadow. Again, I didn't know what color to pick, so I bought the 6-pack. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a skill set I don't have. This is something nobody ever taught me, nothing I ever bothered to learn. Because I'm not a woman. I'm not expected to. I don't need to know how to apply eyeshadow, or mascara, or eyeliner, or blush. I'm not expected to do it. And to be fair, I do it pretty poorly. Blush. Bring out those cheekbones. I guess. Lipstick is the worst. I hate it. Once it's on, I never feel like it can go anywhere. It's always there. Just everything you eat, every bite you take, every drink, you know it's there. When I started teaching, I was less than 3 years older than my students. They were in high school. And so I used the one thing I had that they couldn't as power and authority, a beard. They weren't allowed to grow facial hair, and I was. That added age to me. I don't know how much, but it was enough. I wore a suit and tie every day, but I didn't really need to. The beard would have been enough. This was made even clearer when I came to Miami. The problem students always seem to appear in the classes of teachers without facial hair. Not just the women. Anybody without facial hair. It's weird. That's the way it went. So I kept mine. Of course, I wonder what my students would think if they saw me like this. Who knows what would happen? Part of me wants to find out. I'm an Eagle Scout. It's something I'm proud of. I think the Boy Scouts of America is a very good program. It's done a lot of good in the world. But what I'm doing right now would get me kicked out. I don't really know why. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Doesn't seem like there's anything in there about wearing a dress. I'm a white heterosexual male wearing makeup and a dress. I can control the way I look, but I cannot control the way others see me. Thank you.